Hey guys, so I want to talk about the biggest transit that we're living through. One of the biggest transits, one of the bigger transits, most revolutionary transits that we will be living through. And it's going to be all July. It's something called BARBAULTS Basket, and it's basically the outer planets and Jupiter all at 4 degrees. So as you can see, pretty much all of July, Pluto at 4 degrees, going to be sextile Neptune at 4 degrees, going to be sextile Uranus at 4 degrees, going to be sextile Jupiter at 4 degrees. While Jupiter, as you can see, this red line, Jupiter's opposing, and that's the big one, Jupiter's opposing Pluto in Aquarius, and Jupiter's in Leo, and Uranus will be trine Pluto while Neptune is trine Jupiter. And as you can see, the red line forming to these blue, I guess the basket, if you want to call it a basket, yeah, the blue base with the red line at the front. It's a little hard to see because there's a lot of stuff going on. But if you want to break it down, this is a moment in time where many astrologers said there's going to be major revolutions, civil wars, major agendas, economies changing, countries changing, borders changing, clashing, but also, you know, within that chaos is a lot of rebirthing energy, a renaissance of energy. So Mr. Barbault was an astrologer, passed away, I don't know, maybe less than a decade ago, and he's predicted a lot of things in his career. And 2026, the year of 2026, especially July, is one of the main changes, very powerful changes that humanity will be going through. So if you break this down, and I put July 19th, I guess that's the exact day that Jupiter is opposing Pluto. But even before then, even if you look at like July 4th, you'll see Mars and Uranus at around 4 degrees are setting this off also. Jupiter's at 0, not yet there, but Pluto's at 4 degrees, Neptune's at 4 degrees, Uranus is at 353, pretty much there, and Mars is at 4 degrees. This is on July 4th. So again, as for July 4th, I've been telling a lot of people to watch out with fireworks, explosives, drunk driving, any type of accidents in your local community, even fightings with your neighbors or siblings. But be careful with the hands. Gemini rules the hands. Uranus is great unexpected changes. Mars can bring bloodshed. And when Mars and Uranus are together, it can bring a lot of violent and accidental activity to the hands or to the cars and local travel. All Gemini-based stuff. And again, that 4 degree, or around 4, you could say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees is going to be getting hit. So I want to break it down, I guess, one by one. And if you notice, Neptune and Pluto are sextile, 4 degrees, right? They've been sextile for about 80 years. So pretty much since like 1940s, let's say, until still going on, very strong. And now Neptune is in Aries and Pluto is in Aquarius. I think it started when Pluto was in Leo and Neptune was in Libra. And since then, about 80-something years later, Neptune and Pluto are still sextile. So think about all the changes that we've been through in the past 80 years. But now, this 4 degree point is really being hit hard. So Neptune sextile Pluto, Neptune in Aries sextile Pluto in Aquarius. This shows that humanity is fighting for a new spirit, a new. They're finding out what part of society does not work anymore, what's not working for the collective. And now Aries, the pioneer, and Neptune's really activated because remember Saturn and Neptune just met at 0 degrees Aries, so Neptune's still pumped, and it's a new fighting spirit New groups, new organizations, new friends are forming, a new fighting spirit, where people are now being more independent and trusting in themselves and their self-expression. Otherwise, with Neptune and Saturn and Aries, humanity can fall into a homogenized collective, being stripped of their fight, being stripped of their identity. So going the other way is to really say, hey, this collective part or this communistic part or this Aquarian social aspect needs to be revolutionized. That's why Pluto's there. And Neptune is giving us this spiritual warrior, a pioneering spirit in order to build new things, take new action. That's inspired by our dreams, inspired by our even delusional thoughts. Sometimes it takes that delusional dream, head in the clouds spirit to actually start things. Saturn's in Aries, so it's also going to be some serious work that gets started. Now, Neptune is in Aries, trine Jupiter in Leo. Jupiter's about to enter Leo at the end of this month. So, Jupiter in Leo, I'm seeing a lot of justice for children. I'm seeing justice for pedophile victims. People acknowledging that abortion is murder, whether you're for or against it or for it. Because, kids are being brainwashed that, this is not a human, it's an embryo is not a human, this is a parasite, whatever they're being taught in schools is a complete brainwashing. So with Uranus and Gemini, there's also for the next 8 years, we're going to see a revolution happen within academia, schools, colleges, elementary, within the local community. And Jupiter and the South Node are going to be in Leo. And we will see some type of justice for children. That's the good thing. But with Jupiter trine Neptune, this is we're able to take those dreams, those ideals, those fantasies, and become more bold and risky, being passionate with our optimism, having bigger possibilities, having this uniting force where we can challenge and fight against the old perspectives, the old ways. As we're being introduced to new ideals, and there's a new fighting spirit that's coming in for humanity. Uranus in Gemini will be sextile Jupiter in Leo. I'm seeing a lot of changes in the automobile industry, a lot of changes in communications and phones, in all types of electronics and any type of technology. Especially the automobile industry, I think, is going to take a hit as more people will be walking or finding new ways to travel, whatever that method of travel is. And also artists, especially with the Jupiter opposition Pluto, artists or any actors or creators or painters or people that are musicians and people that create for a living, because Leo is all about creation. That's why it's a sperm. Okay, so with Jupiter in Leo, there's a new ideology for creation as it's fighting against AI or AI taking jobs, robots taking jobs, AI competing with human creations, whether it's visual and graphics or data. Artistic, robbing artistic copyrights, or there's going to be, basically we're seeing the era of creation take on a new method, new styles, as the performance industry will take a hit and have to reinvent themselves in some way. Jupiter opposite Pluto, we're also seeing a lot of powerful, rich, influential people losing power, losing money, losing status, losing power, as a lot of the dark secrets of the elites are revealed. A lot of hidden agendas are revealed, especially hidden agendas involving children, as Leo rules children. And this is justice for children, as Jupiter and South Node are in Leo. We can see some justice for children, especially with, sex trafficking, pedophilia, even the medical industry, knowing that they've harmed children with vacciolas, let's say, jabiolas, as they were harmed knowingly. Social media companies, knowingly. Social media could be Aquarius and Uranus and Gemini, as Gemini and Aquarius are very, very technological. The air signs, very, very intelligent, technological, communicative. So Uranus trine Pluto is another one. Uranus trine Pluto in the air signs. This is all about innovation, rapid ideas, rapid information, even relationships with AI. How is our relationship with AI? And people want to have, people want to date robots and people are marrying robots or sex dolls. And now they want, the next step after that is to procreate with robots. How can we procreate with robots? Well, I don't know if that's something we should be doing. We should nip that in the butt before it even takes place, as it's like, we keep entering a simulation within a simulation within a simulation. So we can avoid that, but Jupiter and Pluto will expose a lot of the hidden agendas with technology, including the data centers to run AI, basically for spying on us. Also, as you can see, at the end of the month, the Aquarius full moon. The Aquarius full moon will happen at 6 degrees Aquarius, while, it's with Pluto and Juno. So there's new commitments to new network commitments, new friendship and factions being made. People are committing to new ideas, revolutionary ideas. Look at all these riots and revolutions going on all over the world. And of course, with Jupiter, you're seeing cultures clashing, immigration, people from different countries not assimilating to the ideas of the current nation that they're in. Cultures clashing, ethnicities clashing, religions clashing, all the belief systems, which is Jupiter, and the identity of, especially when the sun is going to be with Jupiter for the full moon in Aquarius. So you have Jupiter, Sun, and the South Node will be in Leo too, opposing Moon, Pluto, and Jupiter, and Juno, sorry. So, again, at 4 degrees, 4 degrees, 4 degrees, 4 degrees, and this is at 6 degrees, again, close enough. So this is a very powerful era that we're living in for the revolutionary contracts and commitments that we're stepping into. And the fact also this full moon is going to be sesquiquadrate Venus. So we're looking at a reinvention, a reevaluation of our values, of maybe possible financial changes, how we desire to utilize AI and technology, and how we desire to communicate with people in our neighborhoods, in our society. Too many people on their phones or in their own world, and there's a lot of alienation. These are topics that are going to be addressed, so people can form more communities while still staying plugged into social media, but having more face-to-face interactions within their own community. So we're looking at a revolutionary fight back. And a lot of it has to do with the hidden agendas from the brotherhoods or the fraternities or the elites that, let's say, the cabal that run the world, that's Aquarius, the group structures, especially the hidden ones. So the stuff that's hidden, Pluto's bringing to the surface. All right, Jupiter's expanding that. It's easily for people to see this, to learn about this, and want to revolt or fight back or set up their own type of world or their own ideas and their own community. Setting up their own community, very strong with this Uranus-Pluto trine, and Uranus-Neptune sextile, and Uranus-Jupiter sextile. So many things going on. Also, this full moon at the end of the month is going to have Mars square Venus. So there, as well as Venus sesqui-square to the moon, Juno, and Pluto. So there could be a lot of stuff, again, with children coming out, that the elites were targeting children, trafficking children, harming children, brainwashing children. So Jupiter and South Node in Leo are bringing a big change for creation, for the heart of society, as Leo rules the heart. BARBAULTS BASKET is obviously, the elites know astrology. They want to take over this BARBAULTS BASKET frequency. They want to make sure that we are in pure chaos, which chaos is going to happen throughout July. But whatever's birthed during this time is going to take on a new life of its own. Whatever you birth throughout the whole month of July will continue to carry on this frequency for the remainder of time immemorial. We will see it August, September, October, and then when planets also hit that 4-degree point, you're going to see it kick off again and again. And Uranus and Pluto and Neptune, they're going to go back and forth over that 4-degree point a few times. So there's a lot of stuff. And Mercury is also going to be going retrograde pretty much for the entire July. Not at this point, but I think from the very first day of July till maybe the 22nd or something like that. But yeah, so we are rewiring society with these transits. Innovative transits. All right, guys, I wish you the best, and be careful with the 4th of July, especially with that Mars-Uranus conjunction. Take care, guys.